Welcome back to another Alliance War video. We have 4 Loki versus Dsvg. They have been killing it the past few seasons, so this is going to be a good war. They banned CGR, Spidey 29, and Kingpin. And we are on path 5 again this war. The way planning kind of worked out is in order to free up our boss killers and mini killers, we rearranged something after we set the assignments, and so we just had to wait. 4, 5, and 6 just had to wait until the boss went down. So I got a little impatient and I took my first set of fights and just figured I'd boost again for the second set in the morning since it's pretty late. I ended up taking my second set just a little bit later after my boost fell off anyways. But I have Professor X, Torch, and White Magneto. I'll be using a White Magneto pre-fight here so I can just parry at will. Not really needed, but I don't really have anywhere else to use them, so might as well. And the plan here is just to parry heavy and throw my SB3 when protection is down. So pretty straightforward. Killmonger, don't have to worry about the reverb because Professor X's heavy does not make contact. The only issue is that if I was not mutant boosting, then I would have to worry about my SB2 because the first hit does make contact, and depending on the prowess, that can kick back quite a bit of reverb damage if reverb is active. I decided to mutant boost. After all, I haven't been taking as many war fights this season, so I figured, I was like, the war is close, just better to be safe than sorry, and just spam the SB3 because if he does dash at me with that first hit while reverb is down, reverb is up, then I would take some chip damage. And you see that here it's just pretty simple when SB3 spam is there. So pretty simple. The next fight is Mephisto. It's on Ebb and Flow, Knockdown, Heavy, Unstoppable. So I have Torch for this, and I'm going to use a Flame On. And the plan basically is to land a few parries, nothing too crazy, don't want to get cornered obviously, and then just let my Nova Flames do work. So after like the second parry, second or third depending, just knock him down and let my Nova Flames do work as they will. I'm going to pop in an invulnerability boost here just so in case I have to tank an SB3, it's not a big deal. Although Mephisto's SB3 doesn't really do much damage, but that's fine. So completely safe fight as long as I don't die, because then it would make it very complicated, as I would have to stack up smolders and have my incinerates to Nova Flames naturally. So here I land a parry, another parry, I have 2 smolders, miss parry there. Don't trigger deck, so at this point I'm going to knock him down and get out of the corner. And yeah, just start doing some damage. So pretty straightforward. I just want to watch when my Fury is about to expire. I take all this in the block because I want to build some molders, and right there I wanted to make sure I started my combo before my Fury fell down, because he can shrug it mid stun and you get caught. So at this point I'm like, he's dead. Didn't have to worry about baiting any specials other than the first one they threw into my block. All good. Now I'm taking Terrax and Professor X. I am running quite a bit of points in my health and my energy resistance. You'll see that it's not needed, but Terrax can get kind of kind of weird sometimes. He throws these random heavies or just tries to intercept you. But on the heavy, this is Ebb and Flow Knockdown, and it's the prowess buildup and debuff immune. So I don't want an invulnerability boost. I actually want a power start 1 because I want to get to my special 3 as soon as possible. And at this point, I'm going to parry, then back off. He's a max sig Terrax, so he will have his field up as long as possible per his abilities. And I just want to parry and back off. The longer his field is up, the more damage it does. And then the second parry, I want a heavy. And same with the third. At this point I want to back off. He's almost, you see that he's almost out of the field, so I'm going to parry again. And at this point, it's just about building my charges. I have a White Magneto pre-fight here, so I just don't want him to really throw another special. And here I get to 100 charges, and I have a little bit left on the Fury, but it's more than enough to take this. So on paper, it doesn't seem like Professor X can take Terrax, although I have taken him in the Gauntlet. So it's kind of fun spamming in there as well. But it's totally safe for war. On the ebb and flow intercept, he gets a little more tricky because you do have to land that intercept to get the Fury down before you spam, but ultimately it's fine. And next up, there was a Chavez on 25 that I wanted to take, or was supposed to take, but because of timing issues, Enzo ended up taking it. He had an R4 torch anyways, so I have an R3, so he was going to drop that flame on and I was going to do it, but he did it just fine. And now we have this Nova. I'm using white Magneto. I'm not going to be using a pre-fight here. I actually can use it because I would get 2 back and I need 1 for Mystic Spidey. However, the persistent charges give you prowess, chance to land more prowess, chance to land more crits. So I didn't use a pre-fight. You can't parry his medium anyways, so I figured, you know what, just give me the percentage chance for prowess and perfectly fine. All I need to do is go for an intercept to remove the protection, but with Magneto, since he lowers ability accuracy reduction versus metal, he's going to remove it altogether, and that's exactly what he did there. So now the protection's gone and I'm just building to my special 2. I'm still mutant boosted, so I just want to build to it because it's going to launch for a big SB2. So you did a bunch of crit damage there, and at this point just another SB2, and that's all she wrote for Nova. So he shuts down a lot of his abilities and lowers combat power rate versus metal, so I always like using him versus Nova. And now we have Mystic Spidey here. I'm going to be using Professor X. On paper, even Torch would do well as long as I build my temperature up. But you'll see that this is just a pretty straightforward Professor X fight. Nothing crazy like I had a couple wars ago, but I drop a white Magneto pre-fight, I make sure that it sticks, and I'm going in boosted. I'm at three persistent charges, so I should be doing just fine. And I don't know what happened there. I just didn't block. I mean, I know that I blocked, but I just got hit. He only hit me with 1 hit, thank God, because I would have ate a full combo there. That would have sucked. But either way, at this point, I'm building up. He gets really friendly with his specials. He just throws it, and I don't even have a dex up, so a lot of his abilities are shut down without me having any buffs. And as he pushes me to an SB3 through the block, so I'm just gonna heavy intercept here, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So Professor X, extremely short war for me. Just the way it kind of worked out when we were looking at things. I actually wanted to take a Chavez on 51 versus an APOC, but it just worked out better for us because I had a Terrax counter and a Path 5 counter in section 2. So and Steve absolutely smashed it. So let's take a look at the final stats now. And it was a close war. GG's to Dsvg. They ended up winning by 1. If we just would have cleaned up at the end, we would have actually won on time. Shout out to Karate Mike, Wheeler, and Legacy for our MVPs. And another, shout out to a couple of alliance mates I used to play with in Dsvg as well. John, GG's. See you guys in the next one.